Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy English with Aisha and Rahul, your favorite podcast to learn and speak English with ease.
If you've been following us from the beginning, you know we've already covered 10 essential English topics, from introducing yourself to expressing emotions.
And if you're new here, no worries, you can always go back and listen to the earlier episodes. But today, we're starting a new phase, going beyond the basics and exploring more real-life English.
Yes, from here on, we'll cover topics that help you sound more natural, confident, and fluent in everyday conversations.
Topic 11, talking about travel and vacations. Let's talk travel, how to speak about trips, holidays, and dream destinations.
Segment 1, Introduction.
Who doesn't love traveling, right? Whether it's a short weekend trip or an international vacation, it's something we all enjoy and love talking about.
So in today's episode, we'll help you learn how to talk about past trips, make travel plans, and even share your dream destinations, all in English.
Segment 2, useful vocabulary and sentences.
Let's begin with some useful phrases.
Last year, I went to Manali with my friends.
We stayed in a beautiful hotel near the mountains.
I love visiting new places and trying local food.
Next summer, I want to go to Europe.
My dream destination is Japan.
Now, here are some common questions you can ask someone. Where did you go for your last vacation? How was your trip? Do you like traveling by train or flight? What's your favorite place you visited? Have you ever been abroad?
Segment 3, real conversation sample. Aisha, let's hear a short sample conversation.
Rahul, hey Aisha, did you go anywhere last holiday?
Aisha, yes, I went to Goa with my cousins. The beaches were amazing.
Wow, sounds fun. How long did you stay there?
Just 3 days, but I really want to go back again. See, it's casual and friendly. You can do this too.
Brain segment 4, tips and practice.
Here's your mini practice task.
Sentence. Try to say 3 sentences about your last trip. Where you went, what you did, how you felt.
And if you haven't traveled much, talk about a place you want to visit. For example, I've never been to Kashmir, but I really want to go someday. Topic 12, talking about health and fitness.
You know, Aisha, these days, everyone seems really focused on health and fitness.
Totally. Things like going to the gym, doing yoga, and eating healthy have become part of daily life. And in English, people talk about their fitness habits very casually.
Yeah, like, I try to eat healthy during the week. I work out 3 times a week. I go for a morning walk every day.
And when someone is sick, they say things like, I'm not feeling well today. I caught a cold. I need to see a doctor.
And when they feel great, they say, I feel energetic these days. I've been eating clean. I've started meditating. It really helps.
Speaking of that, people now talk about mental health openly too. Phrases like, I've been feeling stressed lately.
I'm trying to stay positive.
When it comes to fitness routines, you often hear,
I go to the gym after work. I do yoga every morning. I'm trying to lose a few kilos.
And this one's common too. I'm watching what I eat. That means avoiding junk food and being mindful of your diet.
Right. And people also say,
I'm cutting down on sugar. I've stopped drinking soda.
if you want to encourage someone, here are a few phrases.
You can do it. Keep going. You're doing great.
Speaking of eating healthy, shouldn't we talk about food next?
Of course. Who doesn't love food, right?
Topic 13. Talking about food and eating habits.
So, Rahul, what kind of food do you usually eat during the week?
Honestly, I try to keep it simple. Rice, dal, vegetables, nothing too fancy. But on weekends, I kinda cheat.
Same here. That's called a cheat meal, right? People often say,
I eat healthy during the week and treat myself on weekends.
exactly. And people talk about food habits using simple phrases like,
I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. I love spicy food.
also, when someone likes cooking, they might say,
I enjoy cooking at home. I love trying new recipes. I bake on weekends.
some people are foodies. They love to eat out. They might say,
I'm a big foodie. I love street food. I try a new restaurant every week.
right. And when people are avoiding certain things, you'll hear phrases like,
I've cut down on sugar. I'm avoiding oily food. I've switched to a plant-based diet.
oh, and some people skip meals or fast for health reasons. They might say,
I skip breakfast sometimes. I'm doing intermittent fasting.
And when you're super hungry, people say,
I'm starving, or I could eat a whole pizza right now. Haha, yes. And when food is amazing, we say, this is delicious. That was the best meal I've ever had.
do you cook often?
Not really. I make tea and sometimes eggs. That's it. What about you?
I love cooking, especially pasta and baked stuff. It's relaxing for me.
Then I'm definitely coming over someday for dinner.
Sure, but only if you bring dessert. Topic 14, talking about movies and TV shows.
Hey Aisha, have you watched anything interesting lately?
Oh, yes. I just finished a series on Netflix. It was so good. I binge-watched the whole thing in 2 days.
Nice. People say that a lot. I binge-watched the entire season. That means watching many episodes back to back, right?
Exactly. And you'll hear phrases like, I'm hooked on this show. It's my all-time favorite movie. The storyline is amazing.
What genre do you usually like? Drama? Action?
I love thrillers and mystery. What about you?
I'm more into comedy and science fiction. I like movies that make me laugh or think.
Cool. And when people talk about actors or characters, they usually say, he played that role so well. She's one of my favorite actresses. That character was so relatable.
And sometimes you hear, the movie was a bit slow. The ending was unexpected. It had a great twist.
People also use phrases like, I watched it with subtitles. It's available on Amazon Prime. It's based on a true story.
Do you ever rewatch movies?
All the time, especially feel-good movies. Like, whenever I'm bored, I rewatch my comfort films.
I do that too. Some movies just never get old.
Totally. And TV shows are great for learning English too. You hear real conversations, slang, and expressions.
True. Shows like Friends or Stranger Things are great for that.
Exactly. Just don't forget the popcorn.
Topic 15, talking about festivals and celebrations.
Rahul, don't you feel like festivals just bring so much energy into life?
Absolutely. There's something special about the lights, the food, the music, and of course, spending time with family. People often say, festivals bring people together. It's a time of joy and celebration.
Exactly. And every culture has its own way of celebrating. For example, during Diwali, people say,
We decorate our house with diyas and lights. We exchange sweets and gifts. It's our biggest festival of the year.
True. And in English, when talking about how you celebrate, people use expressions like,
We have a big family gathering. There's a festive atmosphere everywhere. Everyone wears traditional clothes.
and when you're invited to someone's celebration, you might say,
Thanks for having me over. The food was amazing. Your decorations are beautiful.
I've noticed that in Western countries, they talk a lot about Christmas, Thanksgiving, or Halloween. Like,
We put up a Christmas tree every year. We carved pumpkins for Halloween. We had a big turkey dinner for Thanksgiving.
right. And we say similar things for Indian festivals too. We performed a small puja at home. We burst crackers with the kids. We visited relatives and shared sweets.
Also, when people talk about how they feel during festivals, they often say, I feel nostalgic during this time of year. It reminds me of my childhood. It's the best time to relax and recharge.
Yes, and celebrations aren't just about religious festivals. People also talk about birthdays, anniversaries, and weddings. We threw a surprise party for her birthday.
They celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. The wedding was grand and beautiful.
And when it comes to the mood, you'll often hear phrases like,
The vibe was so lively. Everyone was dancing and laughing. The whole evening was magical.
what's your favorite festival, by the way?
Honestly, Holi. I love the colors, the music, and just how carefree everyone is. What about you?
Diwali for sure. I love the lights, the warmth, and how everything feels full of life. It's not just a festival, it's a feeling.
True that. I think festivals are like a pause button for life. Everything just slows down and gets happier for a while. Topic 16. Discussing cultural differences while traveling. This topic focuses on how to talk about the cultural experiences, surprises, and learning moments that come with traveling. A super useful angle that goes beyond just describing trips.
Rahul, when we travel, one of the most interesting things is experiencing different cultures. It's not just about places, but how people live, their customs, and traditions.
Exactly. And it's important to express those cultural differences clearly in English, especially when sharing your experiences with others.
For example, you might say, "In Japan, I noticed how polite everyone is, and people bow instead of shaking hands."
In some countries, it's common to take off your shoes before entering a home.
Right, or talking about food customs.
In India, eating with your hands is a traditional practice.
In many Middle Eastern countries, sharing food is a way of showing hospitality.
And you can describe surprising cultural habits.
I was surprised to see how quiet people are in public places in Switzerland.
In Spain, dinner is usually eaten very late, sometimes after 9 p.m. Sometimes you learn important cultural etiquette.
In Thailand, it's respectful to avoid touching someone's head.
In many Arab countries, it's polite to use your right hand for giving and receiving.
You can also discuss festivals or traditions unique to the culture.
During the Chinese New Year, people set off firecrackers to scare away evil spirits.
The Day of the Dead in Mexico is a colorful celebration to honor ancestors.
And it's great to express how these experiences affected you. Experiencing different cultures broadened my perspective.
I learned to appreciate customs that are very different from my own.
Sometimes it was challenging, but also eye-opening.
If you want to share advice, you might say,
Before traveling, research cultural norms to avoid misunderstandings.
being open-minded and respectful goes a long way.
Also, talking about language barriers and how you handled them can be useful.
I found that learning a few key phrases in the local language helped me a lot.
Sometimes gestures and smiles can communicate better than words.
And finally, you can invite others to share.
Have you ever experienced a cultural difference that surprised you?
What's the most interesting tradition you've seen while traveling?
Topic 17. Talking about health and wellness. This topic covers vocabulary and phrases to talk about physical and mental health, habits, advice, and feelings, something everyone can relate to, especially in today's world.
Rahul, health is something we all care about, right? Whether it's staying fit or managing stress, it's important to talk about it clearly in English.
Exactly, Aisha. And there are so many ways to express how you feel or give advice about health.
For example, to talk about your routine, you can say, "I exercise 3 times a week to stay healthy. I try to eat a balanced diet with lots of fruit and vegetables."
And describing symptoms or feelings. I have a headache and feel a bit tired today. Lately, I've been feeling stressed because of work.
You can also talk about mental health. Meditation helps me relax and clear my mind. It's important to take breaks and not overwork yourself.
When giving advice, you might say, you should drink plenty of water. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Avoid eating too much junk food.
Talking about doctor visits or medicine. I have an appointment with a doctor tomorrow. The doctor prescribed some medicine for my cold.
You can also discuss healthy habits. Walking every day improves cardiovascular health. Yoga is great for flexibility and reducing stress.
And if you want to talk about changes you want to make, say, "I'm trying to quit smoking. I want to start going to the gym regularly."
Health is a great topic because it's practical and personal. Listeners can use these phrases in daily life.
Definitely. And it's a good chance to practice both vocabulary and expressions for feelings and advice.
Topic 18. Talking about career and job.
Right. Let's start with the basics. How to talk about your job or profession clearly. For example,
I work as a software engineer at a tech company.
I'm a teacher at a local school.
She is an accountant in a multinational firm.
And you can describe your job duties to give more information.
I design websites and develop mobile apps.
I prepare financial reports and manage budgets.
My job involves teaching children and creating lesson plans.
It's also useful to talk about the work environment.
The office is very modern and has a friendly atmosphere.
We work in shifts, sometimes during nights.
My colleagues are supportive and collaborative.
What about talking about job satisfaction? People often want to express how they feel about their work.
I enjoy my job because it challenges me every day.
Sometimes the workload is stressful, but I like the sense of achievement.
I'm looking for a job that offers more growth opportunities.
Talking about skills is key too. You can say,
I have strong communication and problem-solving skills.
"Learning new software tools is important in my field."
Time management is essential for meeting deadlines.
If someone is job hunting, here are useful phrases.
I'm currently looking for a position in marketing.
I sent my resume to several companies last week.
I sent my interview scheduled for next Monday.
And during job interviews, you might say,
I'm a hard worker and a quick learner.
my previous experience has prepared me well for this role.
I work well both independently and in teams.
Discussing career goals is also important.
I want to become a project manager in the next 5 years.
My goal is to improve my leadership skills.
I hope to work abroad to gain international experience.
Let's not forget challenges at work. Dealing with tight deadlines can be difficult.
Sometimes office politics affect teamwork.
Balancing work and personal life is a constant struggle.
Talking about promotions and raises.
I was recently promoted to senior analyst.
I'm hoping for a salary increase after my annual review.
You can also discuss education and training.
I have a degree in business administration.
I attend workshops to improve my professional skills.
Networking is another topic.
Attending industry conferences helps me connect with professionals.
Building a strong LinkedIn profile is essential these days.
And if you want to talk about changing careers,
I decided to switch from teaching to marketing.
it's never too late to start a new career path.
Work-life balance is a hot topic now.
I try to leave work at the office and focus on family at home.
Flexible working hours help me manage my time better.
Finally, sharing advice can be valuable.
Always keep learning and updating your skills.
Don't be afraid to ask for feedback from your manager.
Networking can open doors you didn't expect.
That's a lot to cover about careers and jobs. Hopefully, these phrases and ideas help our listeners talk confidently about their professional lives.
Definitely. Remember, your job is a big part of who you are, so being able to discuss it well in English is a real advantage.
Topic 19. Talking about technology in daily life.
Let's begin with everyday tech use. You can say things like,
I use my phone to check emails and stay updated on social media.
I listen to music and podcasts on my Bluetooth speaker.
I use a smartwatch to track my fitness and health. And don't forget about apps and online tools.
I use Google Maps to find directions.
Zoom is our go-to app for meetings. I edit photos using mobile apps like Snapseed or Lightroom.
You can also describe how tech helps with productivity.
I use a task manager app to organize my day.
Cloud storage lets me access files from anywhere.
Voice assistants like Alexa or Siri make life easier. Now let's talk about work-related tech.
Most of our work is done through software like Microsoft Teams or Slack.
I use spreadsheets to analyze data.
Video conferencing tools have replaced many face-to-face meetings.
People also talk about online shopping and payments.
I prefer online shopping because it's more convenient.
I usually pay with digital wallets like Google Pay or Apple Pay.
E-commerce has made global products accessible.
Technology in education is another big topic.
Online courses allow me to learn at my own pace.
Educational platforms like Coursera and Udemy are very helpful.
Kids are using tablets for school now.
Let's not forget social media and communication.
I stay in touch with friends on WhatsApp and Instagram.
Social media helps me stay informed but can be distracting.
I try to limit my screen time.
Talking about tech habits and challenges is useful too.
Sometimes I feel addicted to my phone.
Too much screen time gives me a headache.
It's hard to focus when there are too many notifications.
We can also discuss future tech.
I'm excited about artificial intelligence and how it's evolving.
Driverless cars could become normal in the next 10 years.
Virtual reality will change how we learn and play.
You might also express concerns.
Privacy is a big issue with so much data online.
Social media sometimes spreads fake news.
Cybersecurity is more important than ever.
And of course, giving opinions and preferences.
I prefer Android over iPhone because it's more flexible.
In my opinion, technology should make life simpler, not more stressful.
Some tech makes people lazy, but it's all about balance.
Wow, there's really so much to say about technology. Our listeners can use these phrases to talk naturally about how tech affects their lives.
Definitely. Whether you're at work, home, or school, talking about tech is almost unavoidable. So learning the right vocabulary really helps.
Topic 20. Dealing with problems and giving solutions. practical English expressions for real-life problems, and how to offer help or suggest solutions.
Yes, this topic is important because life is full of small and big problems, from a broken phone to a missed bus, and we need the right words to handle these situations in English.
Part Segment 1. How to describe a problem clearly. Let's begin with how to express that something is wrong. You can say, I'm having trouble with my phone. It keeps freezing. There's a problem with the printer. It's not working. Something isn't working properly. My laptop isn't working properly. The screen is flickering.
Here are a few more useful phrases.
The Wi-Fi is down.
My app keeps crashing.
I think my password is incorrect. The file won't open. These are simple, everyday phrases to describe tech or daily problems.
1. Segment 2. How to give suggestions and advice.
Okay, so once someone tells you their problem, what do you say next? Here are ways to suggest a solution in a polite and helpful way. Have you tried restarting it? Why don't you reset your password? You could check if the cable is loose. Maybe you need to update the app.
Yes, and you can use maybe or you should for softer advice.
Maybe it's just a temporary issue. You should call customer support. Try turning it off and on again. It might help to clear the cache. Always be polite. Don't sound like you're ordering. Use soft modal verbs like could, might, should, and questions like have you tried?
Part Segment 3. Offering help politely.
Let's say your friend is stuck and you want to offer help. Try these phrases. Do you want me to help? Can I take a look at it for you? Let me help you with that. Would you like some help?
Also, very simple but warm phrases like,
I can fix that for you. No worries, I'll handle it. Let me check it out. These make you sound friendly and helpful in any casual or work setting.
Part Segment 4. Mini dialogue, solving a problem.
Ugh, my laptop won't turn on. I think something's wrong with it.
Oh no! Have you tried plugging it into a different socket?
Yeah, I did. Still nothing.
Maybe the charger isn't working. Want me to check it?
Sure, please. I need it for an online class in 10 minutes. No problem. Let's see what we can do.
Part Segment 5. More real-life situations.
Let's give our listeners more situations where these expressions are useful. Common at work. The printer jammed again. Try removing the paper and resetting it. At home. The water isn't coming from the tap. Maybe there's a problem with the pipe. Let's call the plumber. With friends. My bike tire is flat. I've got a pump. Want me to help? And remember, empathy matters. If someone's upset, you can start with, that sounds frustrating. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see if we can fix it.
Outro segment.
So, whether it's a phone that won't charge or a project that's gone wrong, these phrases help you stay calm and confident in English.
Exactly. Don't just talk about problems, learn to solve them too. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll try these expressions in real life.
We'll see you in the next episode. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and don't be afraid to ask for help or give it.
Topic 21. Talking about news and current events.
Yes, whether it's local news, politics, global issues, sports, or technology, we often hear something interesting or shocking and want to talk about it in English. Today, we'll teach you how to do that naturally.
Segment 1. How to introduce a news topic. So, how do we start talking about news in a conversation? You can ask or mention something casually like, did you hear about the earthquake in Japan? I saw on the news that a new education policy was announced. I read something really interesting in the newspaper today.
Right. You can also say,
there's been a lot of talk about the elections lately. I just heard something surprising on the radio.
social media is full of posts about it.
These phrases are perfect to start a conversation about something current. Comments X. How to share opinions politely. Once you've brought up a news topic, the next step is sharing your opinion or asking for someone else's. Some common ways are,
In my opinion, the new policy will help students.
I think this change is necessary.
Honestly, I'm not sure if that was the right decision.
I don't really agree with how they handled the situation. And here's how you can ask someone else's opinion.
What do you think about the new rule?
Do you agree with the ban on plastic bags? How do you feel about the rise in fuel prices? This helps you engage in real discussions and not just small talk.
Stun. Reacting to news, showing concern or emotion.
Now let's talk about how to react emotionally when the news is shocking, sad, or surprising. You can say, "That's unbelievable. Wow, I didn't expect that. That's really shocking. I hope things get better soon. That's terrible news." Or when the news is positive or uplifting, try, "That's great to hear. I'm so happy they found a solution. That gives me hope. Finally, some good news." Emotional responses make conversations more natural and human. Class X, mini dialogue, talking about the news. Aisha.
Let's do a quick sample conversation.
Rahul. Hey Aisha, did you hear about the new metro line they're opening next month?
Yes, I did. It's going to reduce travel time by half. That's amazing.
Totally. In my opinion, public transport improvements are long overdue.
I agree. I just hope they maintain it properly.
Same here. Fingers crossed it actually works smoothly. Class X, types of news to practice with.
Here are some topics you can try discussing with friends, classmates, or even in your English speaking club.
Politics. The government passed a new bill today. World news. There's a summit happening in Europe this week. Education. Schools might start hybrid learning again. Global technology. AI is changing the job market rapidly. Sports. India just won the test match. Entertainment. Have you seen the controversy around that new movie? If you're unsure how to follow the news in English, try reading short news articles from apps like BBC Learning English, watching English news clips with subtitles, listening to English news podcasts daily for 10 to 15 minutes. So, the next time something happens, a political decision, a sports result, or a scientific discovery, try talking about it in English. It's great practice, and you'll feel more confident.
Yes, don't worry about being perfect, just start the conversation. Ask questions, give your opinion, and listen actively.
Topic 22. Future plans and ambitions. Learn to express your dreams, career goals, future plans, and how to use future tenses in English conversation.
That's right. Whether you dream of becoming a doctor, moving to another country, or starting your own business, it's important to know how to express these thoughts in English.
Let's start with how to talk about things you've already decided to do. These are usually near future plans. You can use, I'm going to learn graphic design this year. I'm planning to move to a new city after graduation. I've decided to apply for an internship abroad.
Yes, and you can also use time expressions like next year, after my exams, this summer, in the future. Examples: I'm going to take an English proficiency test next year. I've decided to learn Spanish after this semester. These make your conversation clear and time-focused.
Star Segment 2, talking about dreams and ambitions.
Now let's go deeper. When we talk about ambitions, we usually mean something big, something that takes time, effort, and passion. Common expressions include, my dream is to become a software engineer. Someday I want to write a novel. I've always wanted to travel the world.
You can also use, one of my goals is to, I hope to, eventually I'd like to. Examples: one of my goals is to start my own business. I hope to study abroad and experience different cultures. Eventually, I'd like to open a language school. Segment 3, using future tenses in conversation.
Okay, let's review the grammar here, because we use different forms to talk about the future.
Yes, here are the 3 most common structures. Will for predictions or quick decisions. I think I'll become a teacher. Maybe I'll work in the tech industry. Going to for planned actions. I'm going to take a break next year. I'm going to work part-time after college. Present continuous for fixed plans. I'm meeting a career counselor next week. I'm starting my new job in August. Knowing how and when to use these helps you sound more fluent and natural when talking about the future. Segment 4, mini dialogue, sharing future ambitions. Let's do a quick sample conversation.
Sure.
Hey Aisha, what are your plans after you finish your degree?
Well, I'm planning to take a gap year in travel. What about you?
Nice. I'm going to start working with a startup, but someday I want to open my own company.
That's awesome. I've always wanted to volunteer abroad for a few months, too.
That would be an amazing experience. Segment 5, Career Goals and Life Dreams.
Here are some ways people often talk about long-term career goals. I want to become financially independent. I'm working towards becoming a psychologist. My goal is to make a difference in people's lives. I see myself running a nonprofit in 10 years.
And remember, your dream doesn't always have to be career-related. It could be, I dream of building my own house in the mountains. I want to learn 5 languages before I'm 40. I hope to live in different countries. Talking about your dreams shows your personality and keeps conversations meaningful. So friends, no matter what your dream is, big or small, you should feel confident expressing it in English.
Yes, talking about your plans can open doors in interviews, friendships, or even self-reflection.
Take 5 minutes today and write down your future goals. Then try saying them in English.
We hope today's episode gave you the tools to dream big and speak clearly. Until next time,
That's all for today's episode. We really hope you enjoyed learning with us.
Yes, if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who's also learning English.
And hey, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know. Which topic did you enjoy the most? What do you want us to cover in the next episodes?
We read every comment, and your feedback helps us grow, just like your English skills are growing every day.
Thanks again for being with us. Stay confident, keep practicing, and
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye
Bye for now.